Hi guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video is on the song Joe Walsh said saved his life. Probably the one you're thinking of. Yep, let's take a look. Musicians can spend their entire careers chasing the perfect song to define their artistry, and most come up short in their approach. However, the Eagles' Joe Walsh was more fortunate in this mission when he wrote Rocky Mountain Way, which single-handedly changed his life path. It was such a seismic moment that Walsh doesn't dare to think about what would happen if his pen had never magicked up the track. Now, while Walsh has penned many songs with and without the Eagles, which have helped him become a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, none mean as much as solo track Rocky Mountain Way. Although some artists would potentially tire from talking about their most famous creation in most interviews for 50 years, Walsh would still be happily talk about this topic until he's unable to speak. In the cases of many acts, such as Radiohead and the Beastie Boys, resentment towards their most well-known songs, and that couldn't be further from the truth in Joe Walsh's case. When he wrote Rocky Mountain Way, his career was perilous after he departed from the James Gang in '71. He had intended to establish himself as a solo star, but his debut album was a commercial failure, and he couldn't afford to make the same mistake twice on his sophomore effort. He needed to write a hit single, which would stop his career from hanging in the balance. Thankfully, Walsh answered his own prayers by penning Rocky Mountain Way. Speaking to AC/DC frontman Brian Johnson on the program, A Life on the Road, Walsh reflected on his second solo album, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. That album came out with Rocky Mountain Way on it, and that saved my life. I knew it was a good song. He continued, people feel it, and they remember where they were the first time they heard it, and that's a connection that makes this thing special. Meanwhile, Walsh opened up about his songwriting process for Rocky Mountain Way during an appearance on the Howard Stern radio show in 2012, stating, I was in Colorado. I'd left the James Gang and was worried that I might have made a mistake because we were doing fine. Walsh continued, I'm living in Colorado and I'm mowing the lawn and I look up and there's a front range of Rocky Mountains and there's snow on them in the summer. And it knocked me back because it was just so beautiful. And I thought, well, I have committed. I'm already in Colorado, and it's too late to regret the James Gang. Rocky Mountain Way is better than the way I had because the music was better. I got the words. Bam. The success of Rocky Mountain Way proved Walsh was right to follow his heart and leave the James Gang to pursue solo endeavors. Furthermore, it also put him on the radar of the Eagles, who he was born to play with and created history alongside. And he's not wrong. I remember the first time I heard it and where I was at. I was at a friend's house because he played it a lot. We used to listen to a lot of rock and roll at his house. We was like, I don't know, freshman, sophomore in high school, something like that. Used to hang out there quite often. And that was one of the songs that would just all the time, man. It was just, I don't know if it's so much the lyrics or just the riff. The guitar riff, because it's just something that hammers in your head. But I really thought it was cool. Great song. Joe Walsh is really funny, too. If you ever get a chance, Drew Carey's Improv Superstars, I think it was called. You can find it on YouTube, and they do a improv thing with Joe Walsh in it, and he out-funnies everybody. I mean, he's probably because he's stoned, but it was very funny. I mean, hilarious, man. So if you check that out, you'll get a good laugh. That's all I have for you. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia. It's on Olivia Walton of the Waltons, Michael Lerner. Have a great day. God bless you. And as always, I'm praying for you.